Hello. It is Thursday, March the 22nd. I thank you so much for joining me for the Daily Craig Sports Show. Thank you so much for being here. There's a ton of stuff going on in the sports world. The microphone's a little cattywampus this morning, but we'll figure it out. Thanks for joining me. It is Thursday morning, as I mentioned, March the 24th, and there is a ton going on in the world of sports. So the big news from yesterday was Tyreek Hill going from the Chiefs to the Dolphins. And this all happened super quick, right? I mean, yesterday morning we got word that Tyreek Hill possibly could be interested in the trade. Right away, it was Jets and Dolphins at the top of the list. It was something where it was, hey, uh, he wanted a new contract. The Chiefs basically said no, or they didn't come to an agreement. I don't know all the specifics there, but at the end of the day, um, Tyreek Hill was a Dolphin, and the Dolphins gave up a lot to get him. The Dolphins acted quickly. It sounded like the Dolphins and Jets both had deals ready to roll, handing them over. Uh, you know, pick your favorite deal, I guess. Tyreek Hill, and he picked Miami. No state income tax, so I'm sure there's a lot of reasons why this move was made. Here's my question: if you're Kansas City, you are now saying that you can find another receiver to fill that void because you had Tyreek Hill everywhere. He was running miles before plays even started, back and forth, seeing his man coverage, zone coverage, putting him in different places where you had to keep 3 or 4 sets of eyeballs on him, right? Totally was a mismatch for your defense. That opened up Travis Kelce, all kinds of other people. So now you basically say, okay, that's fine. We can replace you with X or X and Y, whatever you need to do. A couple players to fill that void. Where does this put Kansas City? I know that their Super Bowl odds decreased a little bit, but are you confident, if you're a Chiefs fan, that you can replace that production and that explosion and that just kind of wreaking havoc on the game? And if you are, then high five. You got a great haul back. You're ready to roll. There's some great receivers in this draft. Maybe you can find one to quasi fill the void, right? On the other hand, you're the Chiefs. You've been rolling. You just missed going to your third straight Super Bowl. I mean, you have been the mecca of the AFC for now 3 seasons. You have a young quarterback that's under contract. You have a coach that doesn't appear to be fading or anything. So why mess with that? But on the other hand, if somebody doesn't really truly want to be there and you don't want to overpay, then you keep it moving and see what we do. So the Chiefs side is very interesting. I like what they did. I think that you can find a quasi replacement and see if you hopefully can kind of get that replaced and keep it going with that angle. Now the Dolphins, you better be sold on Tua before you have done this, because now you got Waddle and now you got Tyreek, and they are fast.com. They are cheetah and whatever we're calling him. What else is fast? Jaguar, whatever. They've got receivers galore, and they're signing people like crazy. They got a new fun head coach. They appear to be a team that will be a lot of fun for the next few years. But can the quarterback get on the ball? We saw that here in Indianapolis. We had 2 or 3 developing young receivers and an old vet with TY. Carson Wentz just couldn't get him the ball. And Tua's arm strength has always been questioned. He's a smaller, undersized guy. I think he makes the right decisions where Wentz didn't. But can he physically get the ball down the field to these guys? That's going to be the question. And if that is any question at all, how are you going to beat Buffalo? How are you going to beat New England? I mean, you did all this work and all these trades for third in the division. I mean, you better be darn sure that Tua is your guy. And yes, I know you have Teddy Bridgewater sitting there waiting. You can't go through this crap again with Tua where he plays most of the game and then you hand it off to the grizzled vet to kind of take you home. That just can't happen. So what do you do? What do you do if you're Miami? You right now you're sitting there with Tua. He's your guy, and you have to keep rolling with him. So we'll see if that's a smart move. Here in Indianapolis, we got Matt Ryan for the quarterback of your Colts, and all these rankings now of where's everybody ranked in the AFC. Looks like the Colts are like 10th or 11th, and oh my gosh, they're not this, and now they're not as good as the Dolphins, and oh my gosh. In the NFL, all you have to do is win your division. So the question for Indianapolis and for the Colts fans, as pissed off as we are, and as mad as we are that the general manager is sitting there on his hands, not spending any money, there were a few avenues that they had to address. They got another pass rush from the Raiders, or pass rusher. They got their quarterback. Now we need a receiver and shore up the offensive line. If you can do those two things, then the team is looking good. Hopefully, keeping the band together from year one to year two. Actually, what is it, year 4 or 5 now? Continues the development of a lot of these guys. And hopefully, they continue to get to a point where they are 1 win or 2 wins away from the playoffs. If you have now a quarterback that's in the room, an adult in the room, and watching Matt Ryan have his press conference was like that. He is an adult in the room. He knows how to be a quarterback. It should set the Colts apart from the Jacksonvilles and the Houstons in the division. So now you're right there with Tennessee anyway. I know that Derrick Henry was hurt last year. I know they had all kinds of questions and everything, but now having an adult at quarterback that knows what he's doing, could you win the division? That's all you need to do. If you win the division, then you go to the playoffs. So that's all the Colts need to do. Just be one game better than Tennessee. And that's where the question is for Miami. Are you going to somehow catch the Bills? The Bills are probably the best team in the AFC with the Bengals and maybe the Chiefs. And then it's miles behind whoever's back there behind them. So I don't know. That's the question, is how good are you now that you picked up Tyreek Hill? I mean, how do you really feel confident that you are a team that will go out and win the division now, even though you still have Tua as your quarterback? Maybe, maybe not. I'm just not sold on Tua, and I know the Dolphins' previous regime was not. I know this new regime says that they are, but we'll see once we start to get out there and start playing some games. It appears Bobby Wagner, the 6-time All-Pro from the Seahawks that was cut, is going to the Rams. He was meeting with them yesterday. I love the Rams. Their attitude of, we don't really care about draft picks, we don't care about cap space. We're going to sign everybody we can everybody we singularly can. I love that. I think it's awesome. I think it's fantastic. I think it's fun. I don't know if it's driving other teams crazy, but for us as fans, I think it's amazing. I think it's awesome that we get to watch a team just basically say, "Screw it, we're going to do everything we can." I love it. Matt Corral with Ole Miss. I think he's the best quarterback out there. I think that there's a bunch of other things going on with all the other ones. Matt Corral with Ole Miss was with Lane Kiffin. I think he is the most polished quarterback out there. Where's he going to go? This draft is going to be such a mess of who's moving up, who's trading, who's doing all this stuff. And the quarterbacks appear to kind of be on the back burner. Receivers are hot, defensive backs are hot. We'll see what happens when kind of all the dust settles. Basically, let's see here. The big news from yesterday is Tyreek Hill. That's the big NFL stuff. So, back to Matt Ryan. I'm excited that he's here. I'm really excited. That's the guy that I wanted personally. I wanted Derek Carr first, but I knew that was probably not going to happen after his contract got restructured. And they came in quickly and said that they wanted him on the team. So I said, Matt Ryan should be our guy. Why would he want to stay in Atlanta? Hopefully we can do something. I'm happy we did it. Like I said, we have an adult in the room. We have a quarterback in the room. We have a quarterback that's been to a Super Bowl. I know. Don't give me 28-3. I don't care. He knows how to do it. He knows. The goal is the division. That's all you have to do, focus on. If you can win in the division, you have a home playoff game, and then who knows what happens. Are you hot at that time? Is everybody healthy at that time? That's all you need to have happen. So we'll keep an eye on the NFL as it keeps rolling along. Okay, the headlines for your Major League Baseball. Justin Verlander, 2 games, 2 smooth starts for the Astros. That's huge. He's coming back off of Tommy John surgery. Zach Greinke back with the Kansas City Royals. There's a hilarious picture up there of him with a guy. I'm not going to go into detail with it, but it was very, very funny. But he's back with Kansas City where it started. Juan Soto is back, hit a home run yesterday. Nick Castellanos, they're claiming that he's the frosting on the cake for the lineup. He left our Reds. That stinks that happened. It sounds like Xander Bogaerts was the one that made the call to Trevor Story to get him to finally sign with the Red Sox. So that's going to be an interesting thing. The Story moves over to second base with the Sox. Carlos Correa, everybody got shocked out of left field when he signed with the Twins. And it sounds like he is excited to be there, excited to lead that team. And it's just very, very interesting that that's where he ended up. They weren't even on the radar, but they swooped in. I like it because they're considered a small market team. They know they have a good squad, and I love that they added him. I think it's fantastic. The A's have Manea and Montas. They're kind of the next two to be traded. Where are they going? All kinds of rumors out there. Bob Nightingale is our guy with all the rumors, and Jim Bowden's also got a good too on the Twitterverse. There's a ton going on with these kind of few players left for the Athletics. They're rebuilding. They want to get rid of everybody. So where are they? Manea is a really good one. I mean, where is he going to end up? There's a ton of different spots you could kind of think about, and we'll see what happens. Tommy Pham and the Reds agreed on a deal, $7 million. I don't know. I mean, I guess that makes sense. This is funny because yesterday these payroll numbers came out, and the Reds were in the bottom 5. And now they sign a deal for somebody. It's like they almost got embarrassed by looking at the numbers that have been in front of them the whole time. Speaking of payroll, your bottom 3 payroll: Orioles at $30 million, Pirates at $35, Guardians at $35. I mean, there are players that make $30 million. That is an absolute joke. This is what makes me so mad about Major League Baseball. Mad, just so mad. The highest payroll is 270, 249, 235. Dodgers, Mets, Yankees. The bottom is 35, 30, 35, 35, 30. How is that? How in one league can there be $240 million difference in payroll? How is that even right? How is that even possible? Could you imagine the NFL did this? Like the Lions spent 30 million and the Patriots spent 270. Like, could you imagine the disparity in talent? Like, no wonder nobody goes to an Orioles game. No wonder nobody cares about the Orioles. I coach the 13U Orioles team. That's our mascot here locally. I'm trying to find Orioles gear, and it sucks because nobody's buying it, so they're not making anything cool. The Pirates and the Guardians are the other two. I mean, this is an absolute joke. This is what makes me so mad about Major League Baseball, and it sucks because little kids, my 13-year-old was up last night watching the spring training game of his Reds. He was into it, bringing me updates, tell me what happened about the Grand Slam. Major League Baseball is missing the boat, and they don't even know, or do they not even care? And it's so annoying and it's so stupid because they should care about every single fan out there. If you're a fan of the Orioles and you're $30 million and the $230 million Yankees come to town, they're spending $200 million more than you. What happened was the Rays have it right. They know what to do. They know the system. They know how to develop players and kids and stuff like that. This is an absolute joke. It's a travesty. We were talking about going to a Major League Baseball game, the Reds versus Cardinals, because on my team that we're kind of split, Cardinals and Reds. I don't want to even pay $1. I don't want to give $1 to these teams that aren't pushing up the payroll. It's super annoying. I don't like it. It makes me very, very furious. Why do we even have a lockout? Seriously, why was there a lockout if this is the case? And what happened? It's so annoying. And I could go on all day. But anyway, that's your Major League Baseball update. There's spring training games going on right now. I've got actually a couple friends that are going to games, a couple yesterday, a couple going today. So I hope everybody out there enjoys the spring training games. March Madness is back tonight. The Sweet 16. We've got 4 games on tap. Arkansas, Gonzaga. That's a 9.5-point spread for Gonzaga. I think Arkansas can hang. I think Gonzaga will pull away quick at the end, but that 9.5-point spread is very tempting. I think Arkansas can cover. I'm picking Gonzaga, but I think Arkansas could cover. Michigan at Michigan versus Villanova. Villanova's only a 5-point favorite. Villanova's been really good and then looked average. Michigan, even more, has looked really, really good and then not very good at all. So which Michigan team shows up? I'd take Villanova. I think they're going to win by more than 5. I really do. Texas Tech, Duke. Texas Tech is actually a 1-point favorite. I put all my money on Texas Tech. They will end Coach K's career, and I am here for it. Again, North Carolina fan. So this goodbye tour has been ridiculous, and I'm over it. And I'm going to be a high five. I'm going to buy a Texas Tech shirt. If they put Coach K out to pasture, I'm going to buy a Texas Tech shirt. You heard it here. Houston and Arizona. Arizona's a 1.5 point favorite. That is a fun game. It's going to be late. Denim shirt for Houston is going to have them ready to roll. They are loaded. Arizona's even more loaded with all kinds of draft prospects. I think Houston will get the job done. So the winners for today, Gonzaga, Villanova, Texas Tech, Arizona. With the spread, we're going Arkansas, Villanova, Texas Tech, and then Houston to win outright. So those are the picks for the day for the Sweet 16 tomorrow. The boys back in town playing against UCLA from California. Anyway, thank you so much for joining in. We're going to go and get our Thursday started. I thank you so much for joining me. Please leave a comment below. Let me know your thoughts about NFL free agency. Let me know about Matt Ryan. You think he's a good pickup for my Colts? Tyreek Hill. You think the Dolphins are settled on Tua? Is he the guy? Major League Baseball, are you as mad as I am when you start looking at these payrolls? Does it make you as mad as it does to me? And then who are your picks tonight? Big NCAA tournament night, Sweet 16. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll talk to you later.